Yes, guys, and welcome from me. This is Champions Manager 0102, off topic. So, as I pointed out yesterday on a post about, I wanted to maybe start doing a little bit of off topic stuff with regards to the channel. Keep it within people's interests that the average CMO 102 would take interest in. And what better subject here than this weekend's football? Okay, so we'll give a little bit of a reaction here, or my own. Let me just remind you that these are just purely my views, my reactions, yeah, and I've got my own reasons why I say what I say about certain teams and this and that. So Arsenal 3, Forest 0. Well, Forest can go fuck themselves. That fucking chairman of theirs, he can fuck himself too because he's a complete wanker. I'm glad that Forest got. I don't like Arsenal. I don't like Arteta. But do you know what? The guy's a fucking disgrace. He was a disgrace last year when he stormed the pitch with Nuno. Now, whether Nuno wanted to sack or not, if he did, good on him is what I say. So he can get paid off because they're a fucking joke. They were a joke a couple of years ago when they gave Cooper a new contract when they were rock bottom of the Premier League. Fuck them. That's what I say. Arsenal, they can fuck off as well. But, do you know, I was a bit surprised that Arsenal didn't start Declan Rice. He did come on, but I'm just a bit surprised at that. But can't grumble. Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1. Now, Bournemouth, I've predicted to be battling down there at the end of the season because I think they've been a bit harsh done by Bournemouth. They've lost a lot of players, you know. They've had to sell them. Same really goes to Brighton in a sense. But Brighton, I think, have just got a little bit more depth up there. I would like to see both of these teams. I've got nothing against any of these teams, and I would like to see them both do well and stay up. I really would. So not fussed by that. Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. Palace, I've got time for Palace, and I would like to see Palace do well. I think their FA Cup triumph cements just, you know, how far they've come. Sunderland, well, they're either going to surprise everybody or they're going to go bankrupt with the money they've spent. I'm not really too fussed about Sunderland, truth be told. I think they'll be down there. I really do. I think Palace will be roughly mid-table. We shall see. Everton 0, Villa 0. Now, Villa continue to have a bit of a shit start. I think Villa will end up coming good. I've not got a problem with Emre. I think Emre's not done a bad job. Everton, not got a massive issue with Everton. So not fussed by any of these two. So I'm happy for them to sort of, you know, stay around mid-table. Fulham 1, Leeds 0. I quite like Fulham. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Fulham. Leeds, the only reason I haven't got a soft spot for Leeds, right, I've never really liked Leeds. My dad used to say Leeds were very dirty, and that was true. Then there was that thing about 5-6 years ago? Do you remember that thing against Aston Villa where they played, a player was down injured and they carried on and scored? They're disgusting. And they've got Bamford. Does he still play for them? He's a wanker as well. So Leeds can fuck themselves. Newcastle 1, Wolves 0. Now, with all the Isaac problems with Newcastle, I want Newcastle to do well. I really do. That being said, they brought Whistler, didn't they? And it was a similar sort of thing. So it's a bit double standards, really. You've had it done to you, then you've unsettled a player anyway. But I like Eddie Howe, for truth be told, and I like a lot of their setups. I think Tonali's a great player, even though he's a cheat. I really do. Okay, and with regards to Wolves, I think Wolves will be down there at the end of the season. I really do. I think Wolves are a bit like the Bournemouth Brighton that I mentioned. You know, they've had to sell players because big teams come knocking and they're forced, really, aren't they? They're quite forced. West Ham 0, Tottenham 3. Personally, very, very happy with this. I don't like Graham Potter. I don't like it. He was given that West Ham job and he was shit. He was given the Chelsea job and he was shit. So they sack him. So West Ham give him a game. It makes no sense to an extent. Spurs, not got an issue with Spurs because I don't mind Thomas Franks. Levy's gone now as well. Not got an issue with it at all. So out of all the big six, or what were known as a big six, I would love Tottenham to win the title, but I don't think they will. Brentford 2, Chelsea 2. Well, Chelsea are amongst my most hated teams. They're a corrupt bunch of fucking wankers, signing players on their fucking 7-8 year contracts. They're a disgrace. And I don't give a shit, right, if somebody says, oh, but they did sell players as well as buy players. Yeah, they did, but they're corrupt. You know, we've seen recently in the news 74 charges. Again, you know, and that was for other stuff. agents and shit. They're disgusting. I'd love to see Brentford do well. I've got nothing against Brentford. I think Brentford have been a little bit unlucky in respect of having to be selling their players as well. So really, they're on the same sort of thing as Wolves, Brighton and Bournemouth. Although I think Brentford will do better than Wolves. I think they'll do better than Wolves and Bournemouth. I think Brentford will do as well as Brighton, personally. Let's have a look now then at yesterday's results then. For some reason. Right. So Burnley 0, Liverpool 1. Well, they left that late, didn't they? It was a 95th minute. Now, I've not got a problem with Liverpool. I ordinarily would have a soft spot for Liverpool. My issue with Liverpool now is because of the Isaac arrival. I think, you know, after what he did with Newcastle, Liverpool should have stepped up and said, you know what? We had this done with us when Coutinho tried to force his move out of Liverpool. Fuck this, we're out this deal. If this player has proved this, that he can do this, what's to say he won't do it to Liverpool to go to Barcelona or somewhere? So, for me, Liverpool can fuck themselves as well. Burnley, never liked Burnley, to be honest with you. Don't like Burnley for the way they shit on Sean Dyche, and Vincent Kompany came in, fucking wanker, and now look at him. You know, I think Burnley will be down there. I think Liverpool will be up there, obviously. I think if Spurs can't win a title, and I don't think they will, I think I'd rather see Liverpool win it, regardless of the Isaac thing, because I hate Chelsea that much. And I don't like Man City. So let's talk about Man City 3, Man United 0. I've watched the highlights on this, and this was a deserved victory. This was awesome from Man City. I hate them. They're corrupt. So I don't want them to win a title, but I hate Man United equally for the different reasons. You know, Amaron is such a stubborn cunt. You know, when something don't work, it don't work. You know, keep doing it ain't going to make it work. Their lineup was a little bit questionable. The thing that got to me most in this game, Man City, Man United, right? And, you know, a couple of people have had a go at me on YouTube saying, oh, it's not that deep, right? Well, firstly, don't talk to me in fucking youngster terms. Secondly, right, what I'm saying, so other people have pointed it out, and this really bugs me. If you haven't already seen it, check it. I weren't able to show you highlights because of... I wasn't allowed to, basically. It got removed. So, Phil Foden's goal. Doku did all the work, right? He did the skill. He kept the ball to his feet. He got a bit lucky. Got the cross in. Foden headed it in. It was good enough goal. But the very, very least Foden could have done was put a thumbs up to Doku. And he ran right past him. But no. Big bollocks Foden, right? Ran across, holding onto his fucking shirt. I'm the king. Bollocks, 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 you know, I've scored a goal, and yet all the work was from Doku. For me, it shows what an arrogant little twat he is, because I've got a real bee in my bonnet about strikers or anyone that scores, particularly when the assist is like it was. The assist was great, and I think Doku generally is a great player. At times might come a little bit clumsy, but in respect of yesterday, he was sensational. Him and Haaland were brilliant. Haaland, I thought, played brilliant yesterday. He proved to me that he's not just that striker. I mean, he played an amazing through ball. I think it was Reinders, who should have squared it to Doku late on, in my opinion, but didn't. So there was that through ball. His first goal was a great team goal from Man City. Very, very included a nutmeg from somebody. And his second goal, where he did a lot of running, I'm questionable about if it was offside, if I'm honest with you. But the running and the composure was superb. So City were worthy of their victory. Man United were worthy of their defeat because their defence was an absolute shambles. It really was. So, you know, let's have a look now then where we are. So Liverpool lead the way then in the Premier League after 4 games. Very, very early days, to be honest with you. It's very early days. So despite what I've said about Bournemouth, it's great to see them up there. I hate Chelsea with an absolute passion. They're as corrupt as Man City. If you were to ask me, if Tottenham can't win it, Liverpool can't win it, who I want to win it, I would not choose Chelsea. I think I would actually choose Man City ahead of Chelsea. They're both corrupt cunts, they really are. But at the bottom, Aston Villa... like I say, they've had a bit of a difficult start. West Ham, I think both of those teams will climb out that bottom 2. Wolves, I don't think they'll go down. I think Burnley will go down. I hope Forest go down because I can't stand them. I don't know. I mean, who do I want to go down? Let's ask myself, who do I want to go down? Well, firstly, I want Forest to go down. I really am. I want Forest to go down. I would like Burnley to go down, and probably Leeds, to be honest with you. So those three, I'd like to all get relegated because can't really stand any of them. So that's it from me, guys, on the off topic. The chosen subject of off topic this week was, of course, the weekend's Premier League. Might make it into a weekly thing. Let me know your views. Till next time, take it easy.